Imagine spending years, even decades, building your dream house. You carefully select the finest materials, design the layout with meticulous care, and envision all the ways that it will bring you happiness and security. But there's one crucial detail that you've overlooked. You're building it on a bed of shifting sand. At first, the house might seem perfect. The sun shines, the view is breathtaking, and you feel a sense of satisfaction, like you've made it. Yet, with every passing storm, you feel a tremor beneath your feet. The sand shifts, windows crack, and a sense of unease starts to creep in. You try your best to reinforce the walls, cling tighter to the possessions within, but the foundation itself is inherently unstable. This is how many of us unknowingly live our lives. We make the things that we've become accustomed to enjoy and like our higher power. A dream job, the perfect relationship, material possessions, the weather, or maybe more degenerative things like drugs and alcohol. We invest our belief, our trust, our sense of wholeness in those things, hoping that they will provide the solid ground that we internally long for. Yet the world is ever changing. What we hold dear today may be lost tomorrow. When this happens, our carefully constructed house crumbles, leaving us feeling lost and disillusioned. This constant search for something outside of us to fill the internal void is ultimately unsustainable. But what if there was a different kind of foundation? Throughout the ages, seekers of wisdom have pointed towards a source of wholeness and fulfillment that exists beyond the shifting sands of our external experience. Whether called God, the divine, most high, the universe, our true nature, or source of all being, it is something unchanging and unshakable, a bedrock of peace and knowing within ourselves. The search for our dream house on shifting sands can manifest in many ways. Let's explore some of the most common false higher powers that we often turn to. First is external validation. We might seek our worth in the approval of others, tying our happiness to likes, praise, or career success. Second is material possessions. We may believe that the perfect car, wardrobe, or house will bring lasting contentment, but the thrill of acquisition fades, and we're left chasing the next thing. Third is relationships. While love and connection are essential, placing the burden of our entire happiness on another person creates an impossible pressure. Fourth is escapism. We might seek refuge in excessive social media, sex, substances, endless entertainment, even music, or the fantasies in our own mind. While these can temporarily distract us and numb difficult emotions, they don't address the root of our unease. Relying on these external sources for our sense of fulfillment leaves us in a precarious position. When life inevitably shifts, the world feels shaky. We might experience heightened anxiety, a loss of meaning, or an ever-present fear that what we have will be taken away. We become enslaved to the very things that we believe will set us free. And of course, at any moment, our entire lives could be turned upside down, and we could lose everything that we think we have, and there will be nothing left for us. This feeling of powerlessness drives many to seek a deeper truth. Is there something more reliable, a power higher than anything in the external world that can offer true refuge? Those who have faced significant challenges in their lives, whether it's addiction, loss, trauma, or other forms of hardship, often emerge with a profound understanding of their need for a solid foundation beyond the things around them. There's an internal need for an unmoving meaning and wholeness that other people, material possessions, or fleeting experiences can't fulfill. They discover a God-shaped hole within them. Those who have gone through the 12 steps are pointed towards conceptualizing a God of their own understanding, rather than a dogmatic or religious interpretation. They are encouraged to discover a higher power that they can connect with deeply, that transcends the material or worldly things that they've relied on for escape or a false sense of wholeness. This concept of a higher power takes many 3-2-1. This concept of a higher power takes many different forms and names across different cultures and spiritual traditions. For some, it's a personal God with whom they have a relationship, like Yahweh, Allah, or the Holy Trinity of God the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit in the Abrahamic traditions. And for others, it might be an impersonal God or unity, like Brahman in Hinduism or the Tao in Taoism. It could be a belief in the vast interconnectedness of all things, the universe itself, or the unchanging essence of their own being. No one can truly say that there is a single right way to understand your higher power. What is important, though, is that you conceptualize a higher power that is the highest thing that you can conceptualize. This is where we come to understand that which is most high. The phrase most high has been used in many ancient traditions, and I think is gaining popularity today because of its universality and neutrality. Points the seeker toward conceiving that which is the ultimate truth, source, and power. Honor your intuition and what resonates with you most deeply. So, how do we deepen our understanding and connection to this most high power, regardless of our specific beliefs? Let's explore a few ways. First is open-minded inquiry. Continue to explore and question different concepts of the divine, the nature of reality, and the source of wisdom within. This keeps you open and receptive. 3-2-1. This keeps you open and receptive to new perspectives. Second is self-inquiry and meditation. These practices that we've discussed in previous lessons are powerful tools. While meditating, ask yourself, what is the source of the I that I experience? With practice, you'll come closer to the true source. The third is prayer and surrender. Whether a traditional prayer practice or simply opening your heart in a silent letter, these acts cultivate humility and connection. Open yourself to the guidance and support of a power higher than your individual self. These are powerful practices that I will be covering in later lessons. This process often begins with surrendering our ego and recognizing that we don't have all the answers. It can involve challenging our preconceived notions and being open to new spiritual ideas and experiences. To finish, I'll let the words of the master teacher emphasize this message. Everyone who hears the words of mine and puts them into practice is like the wise man who built his house on rock. The rain came down, the streams rose, and the winds blew and beat against that house. But it did not fall, because it had its foundation on rock. But everyone who hears these words of mine and does not put them into practice is like a foolish man who built his house on sand. The rain came down, the streams rose, and the winds blew and beat against that house, and it fell, and great was its fall. Through open-minded seeking and application of all good words, you will find the answers and discover the truth that is beyond what is seen by the eyes and heard by the ears.